crab is constantly growing inside of the shell. What I'm doing is injecting various formulas of growth hormone into the crab.
And what is this? Your answer to world hunger?
Don't laugh, it may be.
At 6 this morning, a full alert went into effect here at the power plant. All indications were that a nuclear accident had taken place. However, company officials assure us that it was a false alarm.
My gosh. I think we have to get out of here. Dr. McNeil, could this be a result of your research?
Maybe.
John? Is that you? Oh, God, no!
It could happen, and it will happen on segment 2 of the Drive-In Asylum double feature. And we hope you all really enjoyed Spasms, the best killer snake movie made in 1981 and released in 1980, whatever.
I loved it. I'm so excited to watch it again. I'm looking through whatever other people are saying in the chat, so I'm excited to see what they have to say. Mandy really liked it. I saw that Mike Justice is in there, and he liked it too, so that's good. He said ticked a lot of boxes. And yeah, a lot of people are like, yeah, Peter Fonda may have phoned it in, but and Oliver Reed may have been corpulent. I saw that quote, but yeah, it's got some cool stuff. I really like the point of view shots, and I like. But we were talking, and I agree with Jen. It just kind of ends. It's over, and then you're like, the cult and these loose ends, and you're like, fuck it, who cares? It was fun. You got to see a snake attack a sorority house. What else do you want? Like a snake threw a woman through a shower. Like, were you not amused? and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster just showed up out of nowhere. Like, didn't you think that was rad? Like, yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Then that's all you get. So that's my review. That's what you get.
Jennifer, this is one of your favorites, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Like I said, I came to it from you guys because you showed 2 of William Fruit's movies. You showed Blue Monkey, right? Insect and Incubus. And so I was like looking for other William Fruit films, and I found it, and I was like, this is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something it's not quite a highbrow affair in a William Fruit movie, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had a blast.
Yeah, I really like the snake at the when you get to see it. You know,
I don't like that they blew the snake up real good at the end, though. I kind of like the snake looking. I feel bad for the snake.
Yeah, he's one of a kind. He's supernatural. He can start fires with his mind.
Yeah, that's the part that really kind of shocked me. It shocked me to the core. Those fires lit all on their own. So there really is something to this magic after all, even though it's magic. Yeah, it's magic, but they could throw nets over it and put it in a little capsule.
Wait.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
because I guess like National Geographic kind of.
Yeah. Chris corrected me. Incubus was not directed by William Fruit. Why did I think it was?
There was another William Fruit movie that you meant to say instead of Incubus.
Yeah.
I can't think of what it is either. Got right by me, too.
Yeah.
IMDb is our friend.
Yeah.
But Blue Monkey it right now. I'm on it.
House by the Lake. House by the Lake.
Maybe. I haven't. Yeah, that might be. But it might have been Blue Monkey that took me to Spasms, but I like them both. He's a good director.
Yeah. Killer Party is great. Baker County, USA is pretty good. Funeral Home is wonderful.
Yes, it
That's
is.
the one I
Finally.
was trying to remember. Funeral
That's
Home.
it.
Thank
That's the
you.
one.
And that's coming out on
Thank you.
Blu-ray pretty soon.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
From Scream
Yeah.
Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Kincaid liked to keep it in the family. Yeah, that one scene was a little bit like, ooh,
Yeah.
kiss me
Uncomfortable.
properly. Okay.
Hey, Roger's on too. He dug it, so it's fun. You got to love the bladder effects. Of course you do.
Mm.
It's a lot of bladder effects. Don't be sitting in a. There's a giant snake about. Don't be sitting in your van drinking Budweisers. You'll get bit.
Yep.
Even if you are immune to the snake and control it with your brain, you will get bit. That's what the end of the movie taught me. What?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Al Waxman was dangling some snake outside the van, and it got him in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah. Oh, poor Al. How about Oliver Reed's house? He had like
Mm.
that fancy car. He had like the little turrets, and man, what's he so angry about? Why is the snake so angry? Why is everybody so angry? What's going on?
Well, you know, that's just the thing these days.
Yeah. Oh, it has to be these snakes, these horrible snakes.
I think Spasms is sort of unfairly maligned because it works a lot better than it should.
Yeah.
And after I got over the initial, this was like my bloody Valentine, because the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, it sucked. They cut all that gore out that they showed in Fangoria. I hated it.
Yeah.
And then after I got over that, I went back and watched it again. I was like, no, this is really good. And it's probably like my favorite slasher.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spasms is kind of like that. Like the first, if you get over the initial disappointment, you go back and watch it a second time. It's not that bad. I
Mhm.
like it.
Daryl asked, does anyone else recognize Toronto University
Yeah.
from Black Christmas? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This I love Canadian horror of this
Yeah.
era. There's so many good movies.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about The Brood before.
Yeah.
I adore that movie. Actually, it's just
Yeah.
one of my favorite from that period, the tax shelter period.
Is it cynical to call them tax shelter films? Like,
No.
that's sort of an accepted term now.
Mhm.
No, I think Canucksploitation is what I always call them. But again, they're also all known as tax shelter films. But you know what? If that's no shame where the money's coming from, you
No.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, how many Italian movies have people that aren't in the cast because they had to put the credit for the college in Rome where everybody went? There's like a few actresses whose names just randomly just show up in the credits. They're never in the films they're in, just so that they can get that tax credit.
Yeah.
How about that scene where they went in? They knew it was in the greenhouse, but they went in anyway.
Yeah, no flashlights, nothing.
No.
A fucking garden rake is what he had to defend himself against this monster snake that they knew was in there.
Yeah.
I explained to you guys a very long story, but long story short, my mother-in-law told me once that you can smell snakes because they smell like cucumbers, which it sounds even crazier as we learned it. I just imagined that they're like, what are all this cucumber smell? And all of a sudden, yeah, it's like eating a salad, and all of a sudden that snake's there and just appears. There's the snake. A snake, and then you're bladdery. You're just
Mm-hmm.
faces like this. That's not a good impersonation, but I'm not Dick Smith, so yeah. But if you have a rake, the rake is the traditional predator of snakes. You know, so that's the weapon to bring. And then imagine you think it's just like a couple little snakes, and then you're like, "What the fuck is this thing?" And
Oh yeah, I never thought of that. It was symbolic.
Yeah, yeah. But I like movies with POV shots, and honestly, if we can just boil this down to that attack when that girl in the kitchen is like skedaddling on that black garbage bag while the snake's like chasing her. It's pretty awesome. That whole scene's great.
That whole scene. Yeah.
That scene needs what do you call it? A little bit of like yakety sax to it. If we cut that with the Benny Hill music, that would be the most perfect Like, and it's like that snake's just chasing people, throwing them through tubs. My other favorite part of that scene is, of course, the girl in the shower. She can't scream like this, and she can't scream like, she has to scream like this, just so you know that, like, oh
Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Yeah. And the necklace on the bikini girl in the park. Why? Why all that jewelry?
It was like almost mystical.
Yeah.
It was like this religious token or something on her neck.
Egyptian, like ISIS, not the the TV show. Remember?
yeah.
It was like her necklace. Yeah.
And then she's like Steve or whatever her boyfriend's name was.
Oh,
And
hey,
why
I
did
just
this-
saw that Bill, Joe Zazzo, and Brian are in the chat saying hi to them. They
Yeah,
just
hi,
watched
guys.
Funeral Home together, and after a long while, so that
Oh.
makes sense. You're probably feeling some of the same vibes in this movie.
Mm.
Bill and I watched Funeral Home on New Year's Eve one year. My father-in-law said, I want to watch a movie while everybody was having a party. And he said, how about Funeral Home? And Bill and I were, that's kind of slow, but sure. And then people partied around us, and Bill and I watched Funeral Home with them. It was a fun New Year's.
I hope it was, because I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think you may have been on the porch
I love
indulging.
Funeral Home, though. I mean, I love me
Yeah.
some Leslie Donaldson.
Yeah.
You know, a Mrs. Voorhees type villain.
Yeah. Dustin
I'm
also
all
said
for it.
tonight's little message is farmhouse. Dustin, that sign is back there, so I know where I live. I'm like, am I in the suburbs? No. I'm in a farmhouse. There's some decor that got moved around, but that moved right onto camera. So yeah. We're at the scary farmhouse now. It's not just any farmhouse. It's a subliminal scary farmhouse.
Jen's in
There
space.
are
I
also
see
like
constellations over her head.
yeah, Jen's in space. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the farm.
I'm
Bill's
loving
in the Groovy Doom. What do we got? Sanctum.
Yeah.
The sanctum, yeah.
I'm on the farmhouse.
This is a different view.
Drinking.
This is a different view than you normally see of the sanctum. And just
is.
over my shoulder, Sam, you'll see
Yeah.
that poster that you gave me for Christmas.
Oh,
Mm.
yes. I'm so excited to see it up. I got
Well, it's
Bill
not
the-
up, but it's like, it's a
Yeah.
set decoration for the moment.
Yeah, it's the poster from They're Coming to Get You, the American title for All the Colors of the Dark, which I was so excited to find at IDES in Pittsburgh.
Mm.
I saw Paul said should have been more like this. The humans should become giant snakes. What
Yeah,
are some of
I
your
agree.
guys? If you guys had to pick a couple other snake movies that you like, what are some? And in the chat, what are some other snake movies that you guys dig? I'll go first. Rattlers, #1. I love Rattlers.
That's actually a good movie. Yeah. I forgot
It's the
about that
only
one.
marching band inspired snake desert teacher having sex with a snake movie I've ever seen. There's a
Yeah.
teacher that is in love with a snake in that movie. That movie's
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like this movie's crazy, but I think Rattlers is just a little click above
Yeah.
of craziness.
Because
I also
there's a scene in that movie where they look for the snakes in a helicopter.
yeah.
They have really good eyesight.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that though. Yeah.
I like Anaconda a lot too because I saw it in a theater, a dollar theater where everybody was high or drunk other than me, and it was an amazing experience of people screaming at the screen, and it was great. So I probably saw it with a much better audience than that. And yeah, Sam Loxton brought up Hard Ticket to Hawaii is another super favorite
definitely.
'cause that snake coming out of the toilet isn't that movie. The snake is more memorable than the blow up doll with a bomb on it, which really speaks to Andy Sedaris. That's a great pick. And Venom
Yeah.
is pretty good too. Venom's a pretty weird one too.
Yeah.
Stanley would be my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
The movie that terrified me with quicksand, the idea of quicksand.
Yeah.
And also was also another big snake movie for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I like Calamity of Snakes, which I was talking to Jen with.
I haven't
Hong
seen
Kong
it
movie.
yet.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Unearthed
Yeah.
Films put it out on Blu-ray this year, and I do not endorse animal violence at all, but this movie is the most animal. It's like Italian people just look at it and be like, why can't we do this? This is where we should take it. Why aren't we taking it to this level of calamity of snakes? But and also the effects are basically them just throwing snakes at actors. Yeah, so it's got a lot of that going.
Yeah.
How about Jaws of Satan from 1981?
Yes.
Wasn't that Hal Holbrook that was in that?
That's the one where they have a police sketch of the snake.
The snake.
And he goes, yeah, that's him.
They didn't get his belly print, his rattler print. I like that Becca's had some great. My wife is getting snake facts, but there are solar powered snakes are solar powered, and they're on external heat or light sources. And then she put little snake emoticons there, which is so lovely. Yeah. How do snakes handle it in Canada? Isn't it too cold for snakes?
I would think.
I guess when you're that big, you're a snake that big. Could you imagine if you survived that attack on the sorority and you had to call the cops and you're like, well, a human-sized snake came in here and ragdolled around all my friends and then threw one in the shower. And then I came in and there were just snake tracks everywhere.
Well, I'm curious about what the rules are because all of those women were viciously attacked, yet we didn't see any of them swell up and nearly explode. So
maybe that only happens to men.
It only happened to people who were willing to sit through those bladder makeup effects.
Yeah. Perhaps. James Dye said Beyond the Seventh Door is the strangest exploitation film ever. We showed it. I agree. It's a pretty wild film. I'd say Things might be, well, I don't know if Things fits into exploitation, but it's from Canada and Things is there too. Oh boy. But I'm glad.
That wouldn't be the first thing I would think of exploitation, but I guess that is true.
But I'm glad everybody seemed to enjoy this movie. It's something. It's a spectacle, maybe. Yeah, Canada Too Cold for Snakes is our new bumper sticker, Bill. We should start making merch for every episode and selling it.
They probably have grass snakes and garter snakes.
Yeah. Becca said she did a cold snake fact. Snakes who live in colder climates have live births and don't lay eggs because the eggs wouldn't survive the cold weather.
Oh,
wow.
Never knew that.
Yeah.
Nature finds a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had Crocodile Dundee in the back of the room. Like, hey, mate, how about some snake facts? Yeah, Steve Irwin. He's like a ghost. Becca's sitting with the ghost of Steve Irwin on the couch. He has like a barb in his heart, and he's like, Becca, here's some facts. And he's telling her all sorts of facts. So I enjoy it. You can learn. Yeah, Cubby's telling her. You can learn a lot from this show. So that's it. I would like to think so. If I can hype us a bit, I think you can learn something.
I used to have a cat that looked like Mr. Jinx that would hunt garter snakes in the summer.
Really?
Yeah. It was hilarious because this cat was gorgeous and it would come with a snake in its mouth and you're like, oh, forget it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, maybe it's time to move on to our second feature of the night, Island Claws, which is an amazing film. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, come back for crab facts. Becca just said she's getting some crab facts for us now. I like that Jen always brings animal-related movies. Yeah, she's like, it's like you should come on with like what's his name? He used to come on to Johnny Carson. You should have like a little like safari hat on and a little jacket. And be like, hey, here's some, and you like pass us an animal and then it attacks us.
Jack Hanna on Letterman.
Jack Hanna, yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah, the Jack Hanna of the Driving Asylum double feature.
It's just I don't know how that worked out, but it became like a tradition.
No, it was dogs last time. I think we did dogs last time.
Yeah, we did with the Dracula Hound of Dracula. Yeah, and
well, those the killer machines too. You did Killdozer and Crash.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Jen just hates humanity. Maybe it's like humans being killed by things.
Little bit.
Yeah,
he likes it.
I've
really
been
likes
Yeah.
waiting for the ape revolution since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like apes on horseback or giant crabs. Those are the two choices for how I would prefer the world to end.
Yeah.
So
Island Claws feels like a throwback, though. It feels like you said in your review on my site. It feels like the Deadly Mantis kind of. It feels
it
like we're kind of
does
going
for a
back a little
tarantula.
bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to look
Slow
at this
burn.
movie. The
It's
key.
a, yeah.
You say it's a slow burn.
It kind of is because you don't see the big crab until the end, but there's lots of little crabs throughout the movie that are all riled up.
That's my only problem with this movie is that they only show you only get one giant crab scene really.
Yeah.
There are a couple other ones where it's just off camera and you can't see it. So there are attack scenes, but they're not really all that exciting. But I have to say, the giant crab in this movie, I think it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Cost $1 million to build that crab.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
But
I
that's
guess the
in-
reason you don't see it is because after they built it, it didn't move quite as well as they wanted it to. So still pretty
today-
impressive.
Yeah. I love that today they'd be like, yeah, we'll just CGI that last crab and it wouldn't look as good. Like I'm
No.
fine with it not being able to move that well because it looks awesome at the end of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you think about it, a crab that big wouldn't be able to move that fast anyway.
No.
So just go with it.
And the eye stalks on the crab look
Oh, they're
really
so
cool.
cute. Yeah.
Look really cool. Like,
When I was a kid, I was fascinated by the crabs at the grocery store. Like, you know what I mean? I would just sit and stare and watch them. And then I would
Yeah.
get really sad. And my mom would say, just what are you doing? Oh, Becca has facts for us on crabs. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh, crabs, one. This is very germane to the show. Crabs crap out of their mouth.
Ew.
Yeah. Come over and tell us.
This
Okay,
show is
here's the
very
second.
scatological tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the other-
Say.
what's-
It's a place we never expected to
Yeah.
go.
yeah.
Yeah, if she's going to narrate, she has to come on camera.
Yeah, there's a panel on the bottom of them, and that panel, their exoskeleton. Yeah, depending on the size of the panel at the bottom of the exoskeleton, that's how you tell if they're a boy or a girl. I like that Lo was like looking over my shoulder, like, what? Big ones are girls, small ones are boys.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you're ever like lifting a crab, you're like, hey. Yeah.
This movie was filmed in July of 1980. And here is in Miami, and here's an ad that ran in the paper where if you had big crabs, they wanted you to bring them to the movie set so they could use them.
I wondered how they did that.
Here we go. This is the answer, Jennifer Upton. Well, they paid up to $1 per large crab.
Wow.
Up to.
So- Do we know
They-
what kind they are? I think they're
Did
ghost
you get your
crabs.
crabs back?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
If they're paying you for them, they're not going to get them back. Even if they only gave you up to $1, which means, I guess, 50 cents for your crab, it's not big enough. We still want it, but it's not big enough to give you $1. We're going to give you 50 cents.
Mm.
Whoa.
Well, anyway, that was that was where you could, and this is the set that they built for the town, and it stuck around for a while.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's a beautiful location.
Miami invests $1 in movie set with hopes of large paycheck.
Mm.
Wow.
They bought it for $1, according to this article. The fishing village set, which is pretty amazing.
Wow. I have some exciting news Bill, about movie sets. Pupi Avati, the Italian director, is shooting a movie in Iowa right now.
Really?
Yeah. How wild is that? In the Quad Cities between Iowa and Illinois.
Hmm.
AC Nicholas is flying there right now to try to talk to him.
Oh,
Wow,
This is
Night
from
of the
when it,
Claw.
yeah, this movie was called Night of the Claw when it played on TV because it never got a theatrical release.
This
There are
played the
no ads to
CBS late
show.
movie, right? Right, Bill?
Yes.
mm.
This
Yeah.
movie never got theatrical distribution. So there were no trailers. There's no theatrical one sheet, nothing. All we have is this screening from 1984 on the CBS late movie. That was the first time anybody had ever seen this film. And they spent a whole lot of money on it. So they were
Yeah,
probably
it
like
wasn't a
really
cheap
pissed.
film. No.
They were probably pissed. They're like, no one wanted it.
A
And this is
tiny little
before-
theater. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it, please.
No, a tiny little theater in Brooklyn showed it in 2021. But as far as I know, that's the only time it's ever been shown.
Wow.
Also, it's funny because this is pre VHS, Mark. So it, the rental boom. No, if you go back one screen,
Oh,
I'm shocked you
wait.
didn't say it.
Yeah,
It must
I know.
on what's the movie that's after Night of the Claw?
Oh, what monster could have done this?
And then you flipped over to Friday Night Videos in between in the commercials.
Yeah.
Wow, look at
100%.
the. Do you see what is on at this time? Like The Deep was on, Night of the Claw, Friday 13th, Thick of the Night. No, and Friday Night
Thick of the
Videos and
Night.
Solid Gold, all at the same time.
God.
Like what? Like I know we got streaming. I know you can watch whatever you want, but really, is the world better?
What more would you want?
What more would you want?
It's all dross, all of it.
Yeah,
Solid gold.
Solid Gold.
Mm.
Oh, Marilyn McCoo.
Mm. And the
Rick
solid
Dees.
gold dancers.
Rick Dees.
Yeah, featuring Darcel from Pittsburgh.
They named the crab Mandy. Wow.
Yeah, somebody else who worked on the movie had Robert Lansing had a different name for it. I don't remember what he was like. We called it this, and it wasn't the same name, Mandy. But either name, who knows?
I love
who
that
knows
they
what
did
the truth is.
two things, Bill. One, the animal expert said, "We'll get these crabs. We have to send the whole cast out." Could you imagine if you're Robert Lansing and Barry Nelson? They're like, "Hey guys, put on your hip waders. Time for you to grab some crabs." And her name was Brabara, not Barbara. I don't think that was a typo. Her name was Brabra Watt.
Bruh.
Brabra. Brabara. Barbara Watt. Oh, I'm a copywriter. Oh,
I know it's hard not to see it, right?
Yeah, it's hard not to see. Sure Jen did the same thing. She was the crustacean keeper during filming. Afterwards, she changed her name to Brabra instead of Brabara Watt.
That's really it's almost impossible to say that the way it's spelled.
Yeah.
Brabara.
I feel like Baba Watt.
Brabra, please, Brabra.
It's Brabra.
Leave us alone, Barbara.
People just called her B. B Watt. Come here. Oh.
Yeah, there it is. Buster for Buster Crab is what Robert Lansing claims they called it. It's either name.
He also called him El Crabbo. On the bottom, a young man I've raised as my son subdues El Crabbo.
I did not get that he was an Irish Republican Army dropout. Is that even? I totally
What
missed
is this,
that.
Duck You Sucker all of a sudden? Like what movie are we watching?
I just thought he's an Irish immigrant with a bar.
That's you know exactly what that is, right? You know that he wrote all that for himself. He was like, this is who this person is. And the director's like, yeah, I know your method, and that's fine, whatever. And he's like, it'll work in the movie. And finally, the only person who would listen was this reporter. And he goes, I play an IRA dropout who runs a bar and runs the town, actually. And I've raised a young man as my son, and we hate crabs.
Oh, this isn't the crying game, Robert.
Yeah. That crab wants to be in this movie. He'll even die for it.
Wonder if Marty Watt was related to Brabra Watt.
Oh my God. He should have spelled his name Matry instead of
Berardi.
Berardi. Yeah, you know what? The Watt family must have known someone at the newspaper. You know what I mean? Like this movie got a lot of publicity, but a lot of it seems like it's for the Watt family.
Yeah. I love that.
Their son TJ would later play for the Steelers.
Mm.
There's a joke that no one will get. We don't care about that. We only care about movies. Yeah, I'm excited. Jen, there's a whole bunch of crab books too, right? Like
yeah, but not
yeah.
related to this film. But they're
No.
they're yeah. I'm still looking for a lot of them. They're really hard to get over here. The whole
he self-published the last two too, I think, right?
Yeah. There's a whole series of crabs on the loose books.
There's that one cover where the crab is like a switchblade. He's like holding it like this. It's such a beautiful cover. Yeah. Oh,
so they're not related to Island Claws. So they're called Night of the Claw.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
There's all different titles, but yeah, I think the first one was Night of the Claw or Night of the Crabs or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I was just thinking too, not about the books, but other crab movies. We had Queen Crab about 2015. That was really good because that had stop motion, like old school. And Mysterious Island.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth had crabs on the beach in one scene.
Was there one of those Sinbad movies? Or am I thinking? I'm probably thinking of Mysterious Island.
Probably, yeah.
Attack of the Crab Monsters from '57.
Attack of the Crab Monsters, Corman. Yeah.
Well, that seems to be the way that you're supposed to look at this, like you said, Jen, in your review. Like this is sort of just it's kind of like Blue Monkey, in that it's just a 50s movie, or Octoman, which is a loose remake of Creature from the Black Lagoon. So this is
definitely.
Just sort of one of those.
Yeah. Like Tarantula. This movie reminds me kind of like, the way there's like just a couple of guys who can do something about it, and then at the end there's the big finale. And even some of the music even sounds kind of like Creature from the Black Lagoon in this movie. It's 50s, that whole era. And the radiation causes the gigantism, so it's just tarantula or deadly mantis.
It's not even pollution. Good. They're back to radiation again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a Jupiter probe. Oh wait, that's the wrong movie.
Yeah. But for my money, you see Robert Lansing riding the crab's claw, spoiler alert, like a horse.
Yeah. Wow.
So that sold me. And the smooth jazz at the beginning.
Yeah, you even put a link to the jazz in your review on my site, which made me happy.
Because it's just like the best theme, and the crabs are chilling in the surf to the music. Like they're enjoying the music. Like it's just like
they can hear the soundtrack. They're like Jamie Lee and Halloween 2. They can hear the soundtrack somehow.
I'm sure they can. Yeah.
Laurie does hear the music all throughout Halloween too.
Yeah.
That's how she survives.
I think we need more giant crab movies. There's the movie Love and Monsters has a really cool crab movie that came out in 2020. Don't judge it. It came out in 2020. It's actually a pretty fun movie. It's got some really cool giant monsters in it, and some neat ideas. But that movie's pretty fun too.
I found one on YouTube that's a shot on video movie called Claws with a giant crab.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's really crude CGI animation for the crabs, and like literally like images pasted on top of each other. So in other words, it was really fun.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's been on my list. It's because it's got horseshoe crabs in it, which has never been done before.
Man, when do we get a movie with evil shrimp?
Oh,
when does this happen?
Well,
they're not that scary.
No. Well, Pepe, the king prawn, I like him.
Yeah.
They could.
When I was a kid, I was afraid of seahorses because they're so weird looking. They seem like if they were giant. Yeah,
the boogans is the closest thing to killer shrimp that we'll ever get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boogans. Also coming out on Blu-ray pretty soon, Bill.
I know. I'm very excited. That is a must buy. I
Yeah.
have to get the Boogans.
Do you have the Boogans? You
Not
feeling
yet,
better?
but I will.
Yeah, you will. We'll all have the Boogans by the end of this year, and we'll just learn how to deal with it.
So this was something that was a holy grail for me as a kid because I had heard about it, I think probably in Famous Monsters. That was where I got all of my information in 1980. And
You were ready.
Fangoria too.
You were ready
Yeah.
for crabs to attack.
I wanted it. I said, bring it. I want to see it. And I don't know. I was aware of the movie somehow because by the time it showed on TV, I was itching to get it. I may have even seen it on HBO. Maybe it was on HBO.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Might have been the movie channel or something, you know, one of those other that showed more obscure stuff. Like, I don't know. Anyway. Oh, you know, there's an Amityville connection to this movie.
What?
No.
Yeah. The special effects artist Glenn Robinson did Jaws, Logan's Run, and Amityville 2: The Possession.
Wow.
Yeah. And Rosie, the actress who plays Rosie, was in Amityville 92.
Wow.
So
it's almost as if we have Amityville experts in the chat that are like,
almost.
Yes.
I know.
Shout out.
Brian Thomas Norton and Joe Zasso, who were on the show a couple of weeks ago talking about that. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We do need more crab movies.
We do. Sea Monkeys never got a movie either, Daryl said, or a comic book adaptation. Imagine if those Sea Monkeys were in this.
That'd be all right.
Yeah. The Sea Monkeys always creep me out too, because I was like, I don't want those things sitting around the house. Like, I know they don't look anything like that. They're brine shrimp. They look just like little dots. But
yeah, exactly.
Those Sea Monkey drawings remind me of Mariah Carey.
Oh man, it's a good thing Becca's not listening. She would come in.
There's something about the way that they draw the sea monkeys that triggered me whenever I started seeing there was like a certain period of Mariah Carey where she reminded me of a sea monkey.
Those were actually drawn by a couple artists, but the one who's most famous is Joe Orlando, who was one of the EC Comics artists and eventually moved to DC and was one of their art directors. But that's who drew the sea monkey artist.
I love that you know that.
I know what I'm. These EC Comics facts were put in my brain when I was like 10, and I'm like, they're gonna stay in this brain and they're never going out.
Yeah.
I was still laughing at the sea monkey things.
Oh, they look like Mariah Carey. I'll wait till she comes in and we'll just say it and see the reaction that we get.
Oh, she knows.
Oh, you know who was a carpenter on this film?
Who?
Ted Levine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The Ted Levine.
The Ted Levine.
The Buffalo Bill Ted Levine.
Yeah.
Goodbye, horses.
Oh, I love that song.
Every song he listens to in his basement is awesome. Buffalo Bill had awesome taste in music.
He did.
Oh my God, that who's the guy from Wire? It's Colin Newman, I think is his name. Or I'm probably getting his last name wrong, but that song alone is amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
Hip Priest by The Fall. Jonathan Demme like rearranged that song completely for that movie, so none of it makes sense. It's like,
Buffalo Bill will make you a great mixtape. Like
he would.
He's good at kidnapping people, skinning them, and they're like strangely mixtapes. He's really good at mixtapes.
Really good at mixtapes. Yeah.
Well, he lived in a basement in this tiny little podunk town. Where was he getting this shit? They weren't playing it on the radio.
A good question.
He was reading like NME and stuff. Like he was getting them sent to his house. He was like a week or two behind because that's how it was back then. But you know, he got that and Seconds and Cream, a lot of different magazines, and put together his own thoughts. He bought a lot of records. The Mixtape Murderer. Thank you, Daryl. Yeah, that's what he's known for. Yeah. They're like, he left us a mixtape. Is there any clues on it? No, but there are some of the best fucking songs you've ever heard. And yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna love it for sure.
Becky, what did you say?
So should we do the
It's
cocktail?
instead of Bill Skins fifth, it's Bill Spins fifth, she said. She missed out on the. Do you think Mariah Carey looks like a sea monkey? Oh, she's not. She's not. She said, no.
It's not that she looks like a sea monkey. It's more like that the drawing of the sea monkey looks like her.
She said, do not speak of the diva that way, she just said.
I know. I got offended by you calling Eddie Grant Billy Ocean. So
I'm never going to live that down. Sorry. Sorry that you guys all found out that I'm racist tonight. Sorry, everybody.
Let's go look at Sam's cocktail for Island Claws.
Who's got crabs in this house? No one. But we do have a
SPASMS lobster.
lobster.
This is my
It's as
Valentine's
close as
Day.
we have to claws.
My Valentine's Day gift.
And Aldi, you can just buy a lobster in a box.
Lobster in a box. This is the SPASMS.
That's what Sam will be having.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows me knows it's a big enough Valentine's gift that I actually touched that lobster and put it in a pot. I'm scared.
This ties into the movie tonight. Island Claws. This is the Island Crab Claws. This is tonight's drink. It's got a lot of alcohol in it. An ounce of vodka. An ounce of Malibu from the beach. An ounce of tequila from the south. An ounce of grenadine from the people. 3 ounces of orange juice.
From Florida.
3 ounces of pineapple juice from the tropics.
From the island of Pine.
Matul. The island of Matul. And it's all together here. It's all going to go in this glass. It's all going to go down here into the gut. The healthy, pH balanced gut. Slowly but surely it's happening. Anyway, all your alcohols are here.
Yes.
What a beautiful sound that is. We'll do the grenadine last. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Are your juices?
Your juices.
Mm.
Let's put this in. A little stir. This is our fancy stir that Andrew gave me from Head Trip class. Mm-hmm. My Christmas gift. Bring it up again, but it's wonderful. Let's just drizzle some crab claws in there.
Is that the chum?
It's the chum in the water. Gonna need a bigger glass. And there you go. What a wonderful time to get your little claws on it. SPASMS. Oh boy, put me in the car. Stir me in it. What if I just got him in and was like stirred it with him?
Yeah, what if we bust him out tonight and you just hold him during the show?
I know. What if I just like he keeps coming after me tonight? I'm shocked Cubby doesn't have a lobster costume. How does he not have a lobster costume?
It's so common.
Or a crab. I know they're crabs.
I'll get him one.
Yeah. Piss crabs, whatever you want to call them. That's what they are in this. Anyway, back to the drink. Pazuzu. Let's take this to the beach. Oh, man. Oh, boy, that is lovely. Maybe this should have had the bananas in it, too. Anyway. That's lovely.
Enjoy the show.
Pazuzu.
Pazuzu.
Zuzu, guys. Everybody thinks that Old Bay should have been in the drink. And a couple people say that. Yeah, I should have worn my Old Bay socks. My mother-in-law thinks that I love Old Bay, so she continually, she went to Maryland and bought me Old Bay, not just for the socks, but she bought me Old Bay socks. And then she gave me Old Bay cheese curls the other day, and I was like, has there been a moment where I mentioned how much I like Old Bay? I don't think there ever was. Yeah, she got me like a keychain. She got me like all this Old Bay, a bottle opener. I'm like, was I like high one night? And I said, God, I fucking love Old Bay. And then now that's what I'm known for, is like the Old Bay guy.
You love it.
Love Old Bay.
So, for those of you who weren't on the first segment, I want to bring up this image again. of the shirt that I just did for the Super Drive-In Monsterama April Ghouls event. And it's going to be the last weekend in April at the Riverside Drive-In in Vandergrift, PA. Ta-da!
Oh, that is
So there you
awesome.
go. If you go to the Drive-In Super Monsterama Facebook page, you can order it in advance. And if you want it shipped, you can pay the shipping. Or if you're going to the event, you can just pick it up there.
And we hope
They're
you're
also
going to the event. You should go to the
Yeah.
event.
We want to see you there, and we hope you will be there. A couple of you in the chat are already going. Mike Justice, you're going. And
Chris is
mentioned the other-
going.
Yeah, Chris, Roger,
Sean,
absolutely. Mark Dockham.
Yeah.
So we hope to see you all there.
And I also want to thank the Stolen Stitches for that in between video. Always terrifying. The stuff that they do for this show. I appreciate it, but I am also worried. When I see them at the drive-in, I'm always like, God, these guys are more dangerous than have done crazier things than me. So that's neat.
Spaghetti
But,
and eyeballs.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to the drive-in, Bill. It's like it's what's getting me through a lot of heavy work right now. Where I'm just
Yeah,
like, well,
me
if I can
too.
just hang on another couple weeks, we'll just have a whole weekend just to just chill out and do nothing. It'll be great. That's the best feeling is when you're finally get there at the drive-in and you're like 2 or 3 movies in and you just sit back and you're like, I didn't have to rush to get here. Like now I have like a hot dog or something and I'm just sitting here drinking a beer or a mixed drink and you're under the stars. Then all of a sudden a UFO shows up. Like last year, the Starlink
Yeah.
satellite showed up
Oh
last
my
year and,
God,
and
that
Bill
was
and I freaked out. Yeah, because we had never seen the Starlink build out before. And you could just hear all cars going, "What is that? What is?" And then I'm like, "Oh, it's Starlink." But yeah, it's a great time, and there's so many great people to be around. And Gene and George do such a great job of putting it all together. And the Riverside's an incredible place that I love to be at. It feels like another home, really, after all these years. It's a very, very comfortable place to be. I just love when you get to that last mile, Bill, before you're there. Don't you have like this? Like it feels like the
Oh
stress
my
comes off.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just you can feel it's like going to Kennywood when you're a
yeah,
kid. You get closer and closer to the amusement park and you're like, "Oh, we're almost there. We're almost there." So it's like the only adult equivalent that I have of something like
yeah.
that anymore.
I get
Going
excited
into
the whole,
Monstrum.
and I talk about it every year, but it's like the way home the last night is the exact opposite. It's like I'm not going to be back here until September, and it's like, oh, even though I
Yeah.
know you can go every weekend. They're open every weekend. Like you should go if there's drive-ins in your area. We're lucky in Pittsburgh. We have Dependable, we have Brownsville, we have the Comet. We have a pretty, there's one in Butler. There's a lot of drive-ins here. If you have them in your area, make sure you go to them because they're so important. And I agree with Chris. When you see that little bowling alley, yeah, that's when you know you're home. Like yeah, you're in the right place. So I'm so excited to see people this year and to attend it, and it'll be wonderful. You can come see me eating celery and carrots with my diet. I'm hoping that my stomach improves enough by the drive-in. So that I remember one year all I could eat was Chili Willy. I couldn't eat anything else from the drive-in. So and if Daryl gets to go, that'd be great too. We'd love to hang out and meet. We love meeting people we haven't met before. We love just hanging out at the drive-in. Some people like to say hi while I'm in the bathroom, which is weird. Say, "Oh, I love the show," and I'm like, "Cool," and I'm peeing. But you know what? Who cares, right? We're all friends.
I think that was one person that did that, wasn't it?
I know it was one person, but still, it was very disconcerting.
And it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I swear
If
to
you want to
God.
meet, yeah, the guy was holding my penis while he did it too, shaking it. So it was really weird. Anyway, you also get to meet Cubby if you come, and beware. If you feed him a French fry, maybe just drop it. You know what I mean? Don't feel like you
Yeah,
have to get your fingers.
don't try and touch the dog.
Yeah. Every year there's one girl, and she's grown into a young woman now, and she still has been bit numerous times by him. She was like the first time she was like, like 12. She's like 14 or 15, 16 now. And it's like every year she's like, "Can I pet him?" I'm like, I mean, you can. Should you is the question. And she's like, yeah, just look at him. And people often are like, he's so cute when he's sleeping. That's when he's most dangerous. He's lulling you into a sense of security. Yeah, Chris said he's more dangerous than the snake in Spasms. If he bites you, you're gonna have bladders under your face. If you're a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter. He'll get you. He doesn't have that many teeth. Yeah.
Jennifer Upton, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Thank you for having me again. I love you guys.
Yeah. We love
I'm assuming you're not coming back for the third segment. Is that true? Oh, no, what if she disappeared right there? There she goes.
Yeah. My space light went out. I have no idea why. It's USB powered. So
I thought you just hurriedly signed off. Like, okay, bye.
No.
You're like, will you be back for the next segment? She's like, fuck you guys, I'm out of here now.
No. I'm thank you as always. I love talking to you guys. I always learn something and you always make me laugh. So
thank you so much for your pub crawl presentation.
Yeah.
I love seeing that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. You always bring research to the show, which is great. Like a lot of people don't. They just come on and they're like, oh, we'll just watch movies. Like you bring knowledge and research to it, and we appreciate it every time. You bring animals and machines attacking humanity, and we love you for it. Thank you.
Yeah. I kind of think you're right about that. Like deep down, it's not even that deep. It's just sort of just under the veil of what is socially acceptable. I really just, I secretly wish either apes on horseback or giant crabs that would be the end. That's the appropriate way for our species to go out, I think. So
yeah, we've done it. We've done as much as we can.
Yeah.
Bring on the crabs.
Yeah. And maybe a killdozer or two, that's fine too.
Yeah.
That was an alien type invasion thing.
Yeah.
Killdozer.
Yeah, exactly.
What if there were two killdozers in the next one and they fought each other? Jen, Daryl asked, are you working on any new books?
Not under my own name. I'm working actually on a children's book right now for a client, and they're in Chicago, and I'm working on a Scottish businessman's memoirs, which is actually more interesting than it sounds because he's quite the character and he's a great storyteller.
Oh, that's
he's a little bit like the father in So I Married an Axe Murderer. I'm not exaggerating. Like he's that guy. he's lots of good stories. But no, I'm doing I just locked down in May. If anybody's in London, I'll be doing a talk at the Wimbledon Film Club on a little Japanese science fiction film called River that came out in October of last year. Great little film about the people that get stuck in a time loop for 2 minutes and the same 2 minutes keep repeating.
Yeah, it's good.
It is good. Yeah. And it's a sequel, but you don't need to see the first one to understand.
The first one's really great too, though. I like the first one.
Yeah. The first one's good too, but clever because it's just a whole series of 2-minute sequences that are unbroken, which is really interesting. So
that's awesome. Wow. Are they filming that?
I don't know. We usually don't. It's just like people show up and people, there's always like somebody up there to do Q&A at the end. So they asked me to do it. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, maybe after that, I don't know. The rest of the year, I'm like you. I'm like always hustling for the next gig,
Yep.
So
I feel it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for being on the show. We love having you on. You're one of my favorite guests.
Oh, thank you.
So
Thank you so much. Yeah, enjoy everybody. This giant crab movie is one of my favorites.
Island Claws. And we hope you will enjoy this killer attack movie, giant crab monster creature feature from 1980. I'm really overselling it, but we're going to enjoy talking about it anyway on the third segment.
Cool.
We'll see you then.